Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching or listening to this. I hope you're having an amazing day. So let's jump into it. Episode 25. Like I know I say every other episode, every three podcasts where I'm like, I can't believe I've been doing this for so long. But honestly, I genuinely love it. It's just me having like a little night to myself. In the box room, bedroom, whatever you want to call it. So this is being filmed on Monday morning, and I usually film it on a Sunday evening. But honestly, like yesterday evening and this morning, if I'm completely honest, I am fucked. So if you know what me and the team were up to yesterday, we went to a boot camp, and it was, I mean, it's always hard anyway. Like it's always a laugh, but it is hard work, and it was definitely harder than one we have done previously. It was so much fun, like absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Loved doing it. John came for the first time as well, and both me and him were partnered up. It was nice the fact that I weren't on my own this time, because last time there was an uneven number, and when there's an uneven number, the rule is the coach goes like on their own. So that was slightly traumatic last year, but it was much better this year, and it was good that me and John could use things that like our things that we are better at than each other to our advantage. So, for example, there was like a prowler, like a sled pull, and John did the sled pull because his pull's a lot stronger than mine, and I did the sled push because I know John will be able to do sled push as well, but I've got really strong legs, so obviously I want to contribute. So I was like, that'd make more sense for us to get the best time. There was one thing where we had to like pull tires across the farmyard field. This tyre weighs more than me. So even I think I managed to move it like fucking 10 centimetres or something. John was like back and all the way across the field and back by the time I'd moved 10 centimetres. It was so funny. It was like a little cartoon where like my little legs were going, but me and the tyre weren't going anywhere. Like I was full on giving it like all my beans. Tyre was like barely moving. It was like crawling. I was like, the fuck is this? But yeah, it weighed more than me, which is just frustrating. So as soon as John got back, he grabbed my tyre, like, get on the fucking bike, because I needed to get 40 calories on the bike. So I just like hold on to it. It would have been better. Now we know that. Now we know I cannot. Well, I can pull a tyre, but it'll take me all fucking day. That it makes more sense to me to just jump on whatever it is and then do the work for both of us there when John can do the back and forth of the tyre. But I was quite impressed with my farmer's walk, because again, that was a lot heavier than me. That was 65 kilograms. And I managed to deadlift it up, which was the hardest part. My back's a little bit jiffy at the moment, and then walk back and forth the field. It was just like my hands, my grip that were giving way on that. Rest of it was absolutely brilliant. And I also love this, I think it's called Conan's wheel or something. I absolutely love that, and I'd love to try and find a place that, like, obviously not now I'm prepping, but like in the future, I'd love to find a place that has that, because I thought that was absolutely brilliant. It's pretty much like you have like a squat on your back and you pick it up and you just like walk around like in circles with it. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. My fucking traps are butchered because of the weight, like just leaning on that part of my back. But yeah, funny games. So that's also why I was fucked yesterday, and it's also why I'm fucked this morning. Like, I really struggled getting out of bed this episode. So today's episode is getting the most out of one-to-one coaching. So it's a short and sweet one today, and straight to the point, and it's basically going to go through like anyone who's on my team at the moment, but also people who are not on my team. Maybe they're with another coach, like that's completely fine. I'm just going to talk, as I just said before, like how to get the most out of one-to-one coaching, because if you're investing in coaching, like you better be getting the most out of it, because coaches, like, and I'm not just saying this like speaking about like myself, I'm not that egotistical, but having a coach is a fucking godsend. Like, it can be like absolutely transformative. I know it changed my life. It is changing my life. I've openly said I will never not have a coach because of how much I value it. But I believe the reason why I value it so much is because I do get everything that I can out of it. So I want to go through that with you guys as well, because I believe it's important, especially like if you don't feel like you're getting the value from your one-to-one coaching service. It might not be that I wouldn't say like rinsing it, but you're not utilising everything that's involved with that as well. So with coaching, like the biggest mistake that I see with like some people, now for the guys on my team, it's very, very few and far between that I'll have this thing happen. But I know it is quite common with other coaches. Like I'm friends with a lot of coaches. I have conversations with them, and it is something that we all come across every now and again. Is having someone who'll jump on the team and expecting that just by paying a coach, they will magically get results. Like they're not going to have to put any work in because they've got a coach. They are going to get results. But unfortunately, like building a body, getting the physique you want doesn't work like that. You are not buying a body. You are not paying for a plastic surgeon. You are building one. You are putting the effort in. So because of that, unfortunately, it's going to take some effort. And the way that I like to describe it with coaching is like, we are guides, we are support, we are tutors at the end of the day. Like we guide you with your life and your problems, how to get to where you want to be. We teach you the tools how to get there, how to make things simpler and easier for you, again, what's going on in your life, and to keep it off for the future to get you to where you can maintain going to intuitive eating. I mean, not all coaches are qualified to go into intuitive eating, but I am, like I can. So go into intuitive eating, walk off into sunset, and unless your life changes or unless your goal changes or you come up with a completely different problem that you've never experienced before, hopefully you will never need a coach again. That is my ethos behind everything. But yeah, you do need to put effort in. Like the way that I like to look at it is like, we will give you all these tools, but you need to put the effort in and build that body and chip away at that rock to reveal what it is that you want to achieve as well. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to actually get your money's worth and your time's worth and transform like the women that you see in my client results as well. So first things first, which is going to sound like a very fucking basic thing, but a lot of the time people, I say a lot of the time, like again, it's one of those like maybe 3 out of 10 people I'll have this thing with. I won't call it like an issue, but I'll have to let me coach her. Let your coach coach you. Again, I know it sounds obvious, but I know some people need to hear it. Every coach is different. Every coach has their own ethos, they have their own way of doing things. Now, if you have signed up with a coach, I am going to guess that you trust this coach. The coach has got like proof that they know what the fuck they're doing. Hopefully, like fucking hope so that your coach walks the walks himself. Because I've had it sometimes where like you can see coaches on Instagram that clearly don't walk the walk. Now, I'm not gonna like go into detail on that, that's a rant for every day. But we're kind of like, mate, everything that you're telling your clients to do, everything you're posting about on social media, you clearly don't fucking do that yourself. But so yeah, I'm guessing if you have chosen a coach, you have like built a relationship, you trust them, they are like an expert in what they're doing, they have got experience, they have walked the walk, they have done whatever problem is that you're struggling with over and over again. So let your coach lead you. Let your coach coach you. Stop half-assing it with your old habits. Stop question things, but go to them with a question and let them explain. Don't try and like push back. Like if they've given you a program and you kind of go like, oh no, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, has doing X, Y, and Z worked for you before? Has doing X, Y, and Z that you're potentially pushing back with your coach, has that worked with you before? Because a lot of the times, like if I take someone on, the things that they have been doing in the past hasn't worked for them, hence why they're coming to me to give them a different way of doing things. But if they don't want to change, then nothing's going to change. I always say change comes from change. Funny. But yeah, sometimes we'll be like, right, okay, this is why I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I don't believe this will work with you because of this reason, and also because it hasn't worked for you as well. It's like people who want an aesthetic goal and they want to do like train for high rocks, and that's all they want to train for. And it's like, yes, you will lose body fat from that, but in terms of like if you want to optimally get a certain aesthetic goal, you need to train for aesthetics. If your passion is functional, like when I put little speech marks over functional fitness or high rock, because squat and basic like exercises is still functional fitness. But in terms of like cardio, essentially like circuits like high rocks and ADAX and CrossFit and stuff like that, if you want to train for circuits, then yeah, fair enough, that'd make more sense. You wouldn't have like a bodybuilding plan if you want to train for like circuits or like, you know what I mean, like for something specific like that, if that is your passion. If it's like a little add-on, fair enough. So yeah, if you've got a coach, let them coach you. If you already had the answers, if you already knew what you were doing and you was able to do so by yourself, more than likely you wouldn't have a coach. Now, I know you can have a coach for many different reasons. So, for example, the reason why I have a coach at the moment is for accountability. Also because I can't be asked thinking of my own plan. And also, even though I can build a physique, there is a big difference between building physique in terms of like general aesthetics and me wanting to place and potentially winning time a bodybuilding competition. I have done fitness modeling competitions. I am more experienced and know what they want in terms of bodybuilding. This is a very new venture for me. I haven't got a fucking clue. I know obviously how bikini girls look. I know how fit model girls look, but in terms of prep and getting that lean, I have never gotten that lean before. So you know what I am going to do is I'm going to hire a coach who has not only got that lean himself, but has got hundreds of girls and guys that lean before, won a shit ton of trophies. That's obviously what I'm going to do. And whatever he says goes. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to walk the walk. I'm going to do what I am told. And even though I am a coach myself, I've chosen him for a reason. He knows more than me in that avenue. I'm going to do what I'm told, regardless of. I mean, I don't really have a massive ego anyway, but regardless of my ego. So yeah, stop filtering everything that you've done in the past through them and being like, oh well, I've done this before. And it's like, cool. Why are you here then? Like clearly it's not worked. So yeah, take the ego out of it and let your coach do what you have hired them to do. Let go, trust the ego, and follow your plan. Next thing is communication. Coaching is not a one-way street. It is a team effort. You work as a team together. So yes, obviously the coach leads, but if you are struggling with anything, if you're confused on anything, you need to let your coach know this, because at the end of the day, coaches are coaches. They're not mind readers. If something is off, if you're struggling, if you're confused, say it, because the worst thing that you can do is go silent and expect your coach to chase you down. But not only that, expect your coach to know what you need in that moment. Because if the plan's not working and you're struggling and something is going on, your plan needs to be changed. But if your coach doesn't know what is going on, and essentially, as I said, you're ghosting them, your coach won't be able to help you, which at the end of the day, that's all we want to do. All we want to do is help you so that you can progress, get your goals, burst out if you're in a deficit, and then walk off into sunset. That's all we want to do, but we're not going to be able to help you get there, pardon me, if you don't communicate when you're struggling as well. So, as I said before, like a coaching relationship is a collaboration. You bring the effort, we bring the strategy. So no ghosting, no guessing. Like if you go, oh, I think it's this. Don't guess, ask and speak up. And this leads me on very nicely to the next topic is don't lie. And I'm going to say this again. Don't fucking lie. This is something that like honestly, like, I wouldn't even say like pisses me off, but I'm just kind of like, why? What is the point in lying? Like you are just like you're just wasting time. You're going around in circles. Most of the time, if your coach is worth their salt, they're going to call you out on it as well. They'll be able to tell that you're not tracking everything. They'll be able to tell something's going on. So yeah, just don't fucking lie. You're not going to gain anything by pretending that your week was better than it was. Remember that when you are checking in, when you're going through the process, you are not getting graded or getting judged. You are getting coached. And I'm more than happy to speak on behalf of every fucking coach when I say we do not expect you to be perfect. I am not perfect. I went to my coach a couple of weeks ago and was like, mate, I didn't do my fucking upper body because I was fucking dying just from standing up because of how painful my back is. I weren't perfect. It's one of those things. He doesn't expect me to be perfect because you know what? I'm a fucking human, not a robot. Now, if I was being a wet wipe, you know what? He'd turn around and call me out for being a wet wipe and tell me that I don't deserve to be on stage because I'm not putting the effort in. And he will say that because at the end of the day, that I know some people are like, oh, that's harsh. No, it fucking is. It's reality. But yeah, like you're not getting graded, you're not getting results. We want to coach you. We understand that things happen. We understand, especially as a fucking beginner, going to have a lot more slip ups than someone who's like, for example, me, coach myself, been on stage before, been through prep before. My fuck up are not going to be as bad or as dramatic as someone who's just starting out. They was like 10 years ago, they was, whereas right now they're not. Like we understand that you're not going to be perfect. However, the only way to progress on that is to not lie and be honest and communicate, like I said before as well. So if you skip meals, if you've had no reading episode, if you've missed sessions, cardio, steps, like don't lie about your fucking steps. Like it's why it's like there's been a few weeks on prep where I've just missed my steps ever so slightly. Say it, because as I said, it's not about perfection, it's about awareness, and your coach can't fix what you're hiding. But if you're never meeting your step target, guess what your coach is more than likely going to do? Bring it down. They're probably going to have a discussion with you about if it's realistic to do more cardio, like or might be reducing calories. There is going to be a discussion there, because there are so many ways to skin a cat. There really, really is, and it's finding the way that works best for you and with your life. Whereas if you're lying and saying, "Oh yeah, everything's perfect," your coach is going to be sat there going, "Oh yeah, the plan's amazing. We don't need to tweak anything at all. Everything's going brilliantly." And then when it's like, okay, it's the 4th fucking week now and you haven't lost any like weight or centimeters, what's going on? If that being a client's goal, then they'll start calling you out, and you've just potentially wasted 3 weeks of progress, which no one wants that. Like, and your coach definitely doesn't want that. They want you achieving. Like, as I said, that's our goal at the end of the day. So own your week, whether it's a good week or a bad week, which again brings me on very nicely to the next point as well. Do your check-ins, no matter what week you have had, even if it's been like a black week, if you press the fuck it button, do your check-ins. And this is so important to do your check-ins when you don't want to, because these are the times where you need that check-in. You need that one-to-one support. You need that communication. You need to be truthful about what's been going on. Essentially everything that I've gone over it as well. So if your week has gone to shit, still do your check-in. If you fell off the wagon, still do your check-in. Scales up, do your fucking check-in. Like, your check-in, as I said before, it's not a test. It isn't something that you're going to get graded on. It's your check-in, even if it's been shit, is a turning point. And especially when it's been shit, it's having that check-in and having that communication with your coach is a conversation that's going to turn one bad week into 3-4 bad weeks. And we definitely don't want that. Like, no one's got time for that. You ain't got time for that. Your coach ain't got time for that. At the end of the day, they just want to help you get to your goals. So yeah, especially if you have had a shit week, haven't had the best week, this is a time where you need to lean on your coach and you need that support now more than ever. So if you're not proud of yourself, stop ghosting your coach, because it's the moment that you need him. My voice is still not 100% from that boot camp. I'm telling you that right now. Even yesterday, like, there was a time where I went on a walk with John, Sam, and Molly, and I tried to say something to John, like in like a more firm tone, not like I or anything, but I was like, and like my voice went, and I was like, fuck's sake, like that's how much, like a little bit, I wouldn't even call it a little bit of cardio, it's 90 minutes, but that kind of tough cardio does to me. Anyway, second to last point, asking questions, and this goes hand in hand with communication as well. If you have got a coach, you have probably gone to that coach because they know more than you, and that's good. Like, you should go to a coach that knows more than you so that you can learn and so that you can progress. So ask questions, because you are allowed to not know. You are allowed to be confused. You are allowed to ask questions, because at the end of the day, like I was saying before, like, part of our jobs as a coach is to tutor, is to help you, to give you the tools so you can continue progressing forward. And as I said, potentially not need a coach at the end of the day as well. And especially like asking smart questions is one of the best ways that you can level up inside coaching. Like, you've got access to a professional, someone who knows a lot about a specific sort of topic. Use it, ask questions. I say to everyone who onboards with me, like, you are not mirroring me. Like, I mean, if you're taking piss, I'll tell you, you know that I'm straight, and I don't mean that in like a rude way or like you're gonna get told off. You're not. But like, I like people asking questions. I love teaching people things. Like, I remember like being like a fitness instructor in Pure Gym, you know, where you do the shifts, and they used to do like women's weightlifting workshops, and those, I miss doing those, because I'd get people on those classes that had asked me a load of questions, and I loved it because it was my chance to really show my knowledge. It was my chance to teach, and yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, a lot of questions in fitness can be answered with "it depends," and then I'd ask them questions. I'd get further into what I need to know, and then I'd give them the answer. But even still, like, I love doing that. I love teaching people things. So if you're on my team, or if you're thinking of jumping on board, ask me questions. Like, I love it. I genuinely love it. And I always say to my guys as well, there is no such thing as a stupid question as well. Never, because I guarantee, like, if you had thought about it, I probably Googled it at some point. Like, not Googled it since I've been qualified, but you know what I mean? Like, before I started my fitness journey, I probably had that question too. I remember actually, when I first got a coach and I was in like a group chat, and I remember going from like this basic leg press in Pure Gym to like the big boy plate loaded leg press. And I remember putting a picture in the group chat being like, because it was on like the highest level, and me being a short ass, I was like, I don't know how to get this down. Can someone help me? Because I'm really scared of using it. And some lovely person who like, she was a coach herself, jumped in. She replied to me on the group chat and was like, yeah, this is how you do it, X, Y, Z. And I got into the leg press and I did it for the first time, and it was much fucking easier than the other one in Pure Gym. But again, like I've had those moments where like I have no fucking clue how to use a piece of kit. And I mean, sometimes like, I go into gyms and I look at a piece of equipment and I'm like, I have no fucking idea what that is and how to use it. And I'm at a point now where I'll happily just mess about and look stupid and look stupid, cool, at least I'm learning. But and again, like, bring that mindset like to coaching. Like, it doesn't matter if you look stupid, not that you're going to look stupid, but it doesn't matter if you do. You are learning and you will learn something from that, and that's only going to help you get that 1% better as well. So yeah, 100% ask questions, like, try and get as much knowledge out of your coach as possible, like regarding like problems and life and mindset, anything like that. Ask some questions, like, because I said your coach wants to hear from you. But yeah, as I said before, no question is stupid unless you never ask it and keep on doing the wrong thing. Because then your coach will end up pulling you and be like, "The fuck are you doing this for?" It's like, for example, since I started with Kieran, my coach, it was the first time that I had creamer rice. I've never had creamer rice before, like, never. And it got put into my meal plan, not this year, but last year when I was doing the photo shoot prep with him. And I didn't know how to make creamer rice. My meal plan had like so much creamer rice, peanut butter and the berries and yogurt. And I was like, I must need to mix all of it together. So I mixed all of it together and I was like, this is fucking foul. What the fuck is this? And I sent Kieran a message being like, how do you stand eating this? I can't eat this. This is how you make it. Again, sorry, my voice is going. Kieran messaged me back and was kind of like, you're a fucking Wally. He didn't say that, but basically he's kind of like, no, this is not how you make it at all. And he laughed because it was silly, and like, I can laugh at myself now. I take it home around, put water in it, shove it in the microwave, done. Or the way that I do it now is like a cake, but that's a different concept. I learned that from someone else, like one of my bodybuilding friends, turned it into a cake. Fucking game change, by the way. But yeah, he taught me how to make that cream of rice, and then he said, no, you need to make yogurt separately. Like, it's kind of like two separate things, but you eat at the same time. And I was like, right, okay, that makes so much sense. And that's when my love affair of cream of rice began. So yeah, it's not stupid unless you never ask. Imagine if I was just kind of like, yeah, this is how it's meant to be, and I keep on having it even though I fucking hate it. And then eventually, like, Kieran finds out about it, he'd like literally take piss out of me, which is understandable because I take piss out of myself. I always continue doing that. So yeah, no question, stupid question, unless you continue doing the wrong thing. Next thing, speaking of doing the wrong thing, make sure you send form videos. Even if you feel you are doing an exercise right, send form videos regularly. Maybe it's like you send one of these exercises every month. Like, maybe you send like leg press to your coach once a month. You send, I don't know, some kind of shoulder press over to your coach once a month for them to have a look at. Even if you've gotten perfect feedback last month, send it over again this month. And the reason being is that there can sometimes be like tiny tweaks in your form that can make a fucking huge difference to your training. And if, let's say, you've been doing shoulder press and you send your form video over to your coach and give you some amendments, and then you never send that video back to your coach, you don't know if by amending what your coach has said has given you like a different form problem. You don't know that until you send that over to your coach. But not only that, let's say that you send over that shoulder press video, you send it over to your coach, you get a thumbs up, you get fucking perfect, crack on with that. But then in a month, you might have started getting into bad habits, you might have started bouncing the weight at the bottom, you might have been rushing through movements, you might be leaving reps on the table, intensity's not as high. Again, it's really beneficial for your coach to see that, because there's multiple times that my girls will send me videos and I'm like, you have got like 3 or more reps in that time there. Like, you could 100% go more on that. And like, I'm looking for grindy reps, and they're just literally like, they'll do like a few reps and they'll just stop and then just carry on as normal. But now I want to see some grindy reps. I want to see people fight with their lives, because that is how you change, by essentially trying to force your body to change. So if you want to look athletic, if you want to have a certain aesthetic goal, if you want to grow muscle in certain areas, you have got to train like a fucking beast. But also we need to make sure your form is absolutely bang on as well, and that the intensity is there too, because you might think you're training 10 out of 10 intensity, but then you have someone, again, a professional, look over your videos and go, yeah, you've got like 9 more reps, and they're like, work harder. And this is not a bad thing, it's not slagging you off, it's helping you be better. 100%. Stop guessing your form, send over videos. And if your coach can't fix what your coach at the end of the day, they can't fix what they can't see, and you don't get extra points through struggling through a workout with crap technique. Like, you get minus points with more than likely training the different muscle. And funnily enough, I was having a conversation with a client a few weeks ago. I was like, how are you getting on with your training? Do you like all of your exercise? And she was like, actually, I feel like step ups are really weird. I'm just not getting on with them. And I didn't go like, okay, let's change it in your plan straight away. I was like, no, before I change it, send me over a video, because I want to see what's going on here. I want to know why it feels weird. And she sent me over a video, and I knew straight away the step that she was using. She was actually using the bench. Was way too high for her personal biomechanics, because she's like me to fatigue. So as soon as I saw the video and I saw her moving in it, I was like, yeah, you need to get a smaller box. It'll help the way that it feels as well. But again, if I was just kind of like ignore it and go, right, okay, let's just switch your exercise, I'm not asked about seeing form, that can cause further problems down the line as well. So yeah, I'll absolutely adore seeing video feedback, and a lot of my girls are really good at it as well. I'll send multiple videos throughout the week as well, because it'll massively help them, and they know the value that they get out of it as well. So yeah, film your list, maybe not all of them, maybe just do film one thing a session, send it over to your coach, get your feedback and apply it, and that's how you evolve, that's how you evolve in training, it's how you increase your intensity in training, and with all of those things, that's how your physique will evolve as well. So wrapping up, as I said, you're not hiring a coach just to tick the boxes. You're with a coach to transform, both internally and externally as well. And real transformation requires honesty, communication, humility as well, and realizing that you're not the expert and you don't know everything, and action and acting on what your coach has told you to do as well. If you're showing up half-hearted, you're going to get half-assed results. I always say, like, don't expect A-star results when you're putting in C effort or D effort. Like, it's just not going to happen. But if you lean in, if you get uncomfortable, if you ask for help, and you let yourself be coached, you'll honestly be shocked and amazed at what you can achieve as well. So yeah, this is your reminder that you're not just paying for a coach, you're paying to become the woman that you know you're capable of being. That's how you're going to get there. So it's more of an investment rather than a cost, because that is always going to stay with you for the rest of your life. And I say this myself all the time, with like, because obviously I get coached by coach to coach, does that make sense? So I have a business mentor, because honestly, like, I know a lot of people kind of like, oh, you always say that you're not responsible, but you own a business. I have no fucking clue what I am doing. I am winging this. So I've got someone who used to own a successful business, they still do, but it's in a different niche now, being my business mentor. And of course, I've got my own coach as well that is pushing me further than what I ever thought possible as well. Because at the end of the day, like, what's the point if you're not always trying to level up and just see what you're capable of, and like leveling up and leveling up and leveling up? That's my thoughts and feelings anyway. So yeah, start acting like the person that you want to be as well, and I can more than guarantee that the next level version of you isn't just sitting in silence, isn't just sitting confused, isn't having a sad panda moment because the check-in isn't as good or as where they expect it to be. People are like, no, I'm just going to check in, see what coach has to say. And sometimes as well, like my last check-in, I did I even put it on this week as well. Well, yeah, this Sunday, and I said that in my check-in, like, I just don't see any difference. Like, imagine if I had like a sad panda moment, or just kind of like, oh, I don't see any difference, so there's no point in checking in. Like, fuck that, like, no. And then I got my response back from Kieran being like, no, everything's going fine. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, you go through prep, you don't feel like you're looking at anything when you clearly do. It's one of those. And again, I know this. Like I say this to my clients all the time. But again, I'm a coach. I've got emotions. I'm a human too, and sometimes I also can't see the difference myself. So it's nice to have someone else to say that back to me and give me that reminder that I always give my clients as well. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. As usual, if you have any questions, please leave them down below, both on YouTube and on Spotify. And as always, if you listen to this podcast and you loved it, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram and tag me so I can see that you listened to it, and we'll have a little natter in DMs. Shameless plug. If you are interested in one-to-one coaching and you are not a client at the moment, I do have a few spaces available for online. PT is fully booked. We have closed the doors. I am not taking anyone on for PT. A little heads up that from mid-August to the end of September, I'm not going to be taking on any more one-to-one clients, both in terms of online coaching and PTs. If I get a drop off in my own coaching service, I'm still not taking anyone new on. The reason being is that from mid-August to September, that is when I'm going to be in the depths of rep. And honestly, I just want to focus on my guys, the people that I know, the people that are loyal, that get it, that get like how to get doing prep as well. And I also want to focus on myself and John, of course, too. But yeah, those last 4 weeks are going to be fucking grindy too. So yeah, just a little heads up on that. So if you do want to jump on and coaching, get signed up ASAP, because as I said, I don't want you to get to like mid-August and I'm like, mate, I'm not taking it on until September. I don't want to like leave like that. Let me get to know you, let me get your plan set up, and let's get rocking and rolling. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you on the next